Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome back to Vivid Sagas. It's great to have you here again as we gather round for a special Thanksgiving family drama that's sure to hit close to home. In today's story, get ready to experience all the drama, tears, and emotions as we dive into the world of family dynamics during this Thanksgiving celebration. So if you're ready for the feast, grab a plate and join me in the library. Enjoy the story. The Johnson family had always celebrated Thanksgiving with enthusiasm and warmth, but this year was different. Tensions had been brewing for months, and the holiday dinner was destined to be a powder keg of emotions waiting to explode. As the family gathered around the long dining table, the aroma of roasted turkey filled the air. Ruth, the matriarch of the family, sat at the head of the table, her wrinkled hands folded in her lap. Her eyes, usually warm and inviting, held a hint of sadness as she observed her family. The tension was palpable. Sarah, the eldest daughter, had recently moved back home after a difficult divorce. She sat beside her younger brother, Mark, who had taken over the family business when their father had passed away a year ago. Sarah had been bitter about not being offered the opportunity to run the business herself, and it had caused a rift between the siblings. The dinner began with strained small talk, but it didn't take long for the dam to burst. Sarah, unable to contain her bitterness any longer, finally spoke up. "Mark, you know I wanted to run the business. I have just as much right as you do." Mark sighed and put down his fork. "Sarah, it's not about rights, it's about who's best for the job. Dad believed in me, and I'm doing my best to honor his legacy." Their argument escalated quickly, with accusations and grievances pouring out. Charles, the eldest son, who had remained silent until now, slammed his hand on the table. "Enough," he barked. "This is Thanksgiving, not a courtroom. We're supposed to be grateful for what we have." Ruth's voice cut through the chaos. "Enough is enough," she said with a tone of finality. "We are family, and we should be grateful for that. We can't change the past, but we can choose how we move forward." Her words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. The room fell silent, and slowly, one by one, the family members began to realize the significance of Ruth's message. Sarah and Mark exchanged apologetic glances, their anger dissipating. Ruth continued, her voice trembling with emotion. "Life is too short for grudges and anger. We've lost your father, and we can't let our family fall apart too." Tears welled up in Sarah's eyes as she reached out to hold Mark's hand. Mark squeezed it gently, and they shared a moment of reconciliation. As the family joined hands and gave thanks, they realized that Thanksgiving was not just about the food on the table but about the love and forgiveness they had for each other. It was a time to put aside their differences and come together as a family, just as Ruth had hoped. And in that moment, as they bowed their heads in prayer, they found a renewed sense of gratitude and a glimmer of hope for the future, a future where the Johnson family could heal and grow stronger together. After the heartfelt prayer, the atmosphere in the dining room had transformed. The weight of unresolved issues had been replaced with a sense of unity and acceptance. They started passing dishes, sharing stories, and laughing as they had done in years past. Ruth, observing her family, felt a sense of relief wash over her. She had been worried about the growing rifts between her children and had longed for this moment of reconciliation. Her eyes brimmed with tears of joy as she saw the smiles on their faces and the warmth in their interactions. As the evening continued, they reminisced about their father's love for Thanksgiving and the traditions he had cherished. Mark shared stories about his father's dedication to the family business, and Sarah expressed her admiration for her father's work ethic. Charles, touched by his younger siblings' words, realized that they had all learned valuable lessons from their late father. Linda, the youngest daughter, who had been quiet throughout the meal, finally spoke up, expressing her love for her family and her desire to support them all. The evening ended with a heartfelt toast to family, gratitude, and forgiveness. They all knew that they still had work to do, that healing would take time, but the foundation for that healing had been laid. The Johnson family had experienced a Thanksgiving unlike any other, one filled with tension and turmoil, but ultimately, it had brought them closer together. They had confronted their issues, expressed their feelings, and most importantly, they had chosen love and forgiveness over anger and resentment. As they bid each other good night, they knew that the road ahead might still be challenging, but they were willing to travel it together. Thanksgiving had not only brought them a feast of food but also a feast of understanding, compassion, and the promise of a brighter future for their family. I hope you enjoyed this tale as much as we did bringing it to you. If you found this video entertaining, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who love a good story. Stay tuned for our next great adventure, as we have more exciting narratives coming your way. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when our next story unfolds. Thank you for being a part of our storytelling community. Until next time, keep your imagination alive, and remember that the best stories are yet to come.